All right, guys. Welcome to the second episode. We're not going to stop at the first now. We have to keep this going. Welcome to the BrodaMan Asylum Podcast. Whoa. Too many things in my mind. Okay, so today we have a very serious topic. But like I said, we're going to introduce ourselves to you every episode so you know who we are, so you can help us to blow. So I'm Davey Kenny. Yo. Everybody introduce yourself.
I'm Bugwade.
Yeah.
I am too.
My name is Ronti.
All right, so we're back. Today's topic, you already saw it in the caption. You saw it in the title. Guy, exclamation mark. You need help. More exclamation marks. So today we'll be going a little bit hard on the men. You know, we have to hold ourselves accountable. And one of the ways we do that is to recognize when we need help and to recognize how certain behaviors have been perpetuated over time. Some of us are even repeating the mistakes that our fathers made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people like there's a way you hear things like, this is how the men in your family behave. You know, this is how your father was, and we're still doing those things. Some of us were influenced by the society, by the world. Last episode we talked about how exactly
you have so many influences.
Yeah.
In fact, you have so many influences today that you need to ask for help so you can even know what should actually influence you.
Yeah. Many things they do you. So you guys know, you have to know the medicine to take depending on the kind of sickness that is doing you. So I think the first place to obviously start is what we think and the areas we think men really need help the most in our generation. Let's try and think as far and wide as we can about this, because this one is very, very important.
Communication, I think. What men sometimes we struggle with. Growing up, we struggle with just how to talk to people, talk to ourselves, talk to women, talk to our parents. Yeah, I think that to me is one big issue that we have. I mean, right now, my eldest son is 16, and he just started a new school. And I asked him on his first day, how was school? Do you have any thoughts? Do you have any feelings? You know? He said, nah, nothing. I said, you can't be nothing now. You're not a robot. You must have a feeling. Yeah. I said, and I explained, I said, my first day in school, my first school, there was a feeling of being lost. I didn't quite know who to talk to. There was anxiety and all that, but he was like, nothing. Well, after I explained a bit, he said he was confused. Just that one word, confused. He's coming up. But I think
loading.
Yeah, how to just talk is one thing that where we really need.
I mean, we hit on this in the last episode about how men don't really talk about their emotions, how they're truly feeling, but there's a way to learn how to. And I think we communicate the way our communication skills are primarily formed in our families. How we communicate at home is eventually how we communicate outside.
Yeah.
The freedom we're given at home either restricts or opens us up to be able to communicate in an effective way.
You reflect what you see.
Yeah.
You reflect what you see. And it's either from your parents or from your siblings or from people around you.
Yeah.
But as far as help goes for men, men just need help in everything at different points in time. So about a year ago, when I first moved to Lagos, at that point in time, I needed guidance on coming into the new city of Lagos because it was still new for me. I'd been to Lagos before, but I just moved here. Yeah. So I needed someone that had expertise in all affairs Lagos.
I'm laughing because you talk about Lagos like it's a job.
Bro, it's a different place. And my brother man here was my minister of tourism.
You know what I'm saying? Vote me, democracy.
I was coming from Abuja at that time. So my brother man
to Abuja, Lagos is a jungle.
It's very different. It's really like it's like a different country.
Animal kingdom.
It's like a different country.
Yeah.
So I said that to say that men need help in different parts of their lives at different points in time.
Mm-hmm.
This helping me in Lagos might sound like a small thing.
Yeah, but it translates.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Helping me in Lagos might seem like a small thing.
Yeah.
But when you think of the the repercussions it could have had if I didn't
Have
have
guidance.
that guide.
Yeah.
Different things could have happened. By now, I might
Yeah.
not even be here. You understand? So
Big facts.
yeah, so help comes in different ways at different points in time, and is needed. One of my friends always like to say that closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
So as a
Yeah.
man, we need
Big facts.
You understand?
Big facts.
So we need to.
Big facts.
Yes,
But
it's
what do you
nice.
think?
I think we're not yet used to asking for help, and that is the main thing. We're not used to asking for help, and like you said, say what you said now. It looks as if it's a mundane thing, but in men's lives, there are many things that look mundane, but it's good to ask for help. And it will shock you when you bring up topics and people are like, "Chairman, how did you do that? How did you come up with that? How do you escape this thing?" For example, now as men now in our generation, we are inundated with pictures of ladies scantily dressed. It hits you every day. Pa, pa, pa. And
Whoa.
and I know what he's talking about. How do you handle this thing? Because men are moved by what they see,
Yeah.
and nobody talks about it. So if nobody talks about it, men just keep hiding things in their corner. And so it's important to ask for help because they are men.
Yeah.
There are men that have handled these things.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts. I agree with everything that has been said, though, honestly. Closed mouths don't get fed. Yay. Somebody should tweet that.
Closed mouths are closed
Somebody should put that
destinies.
on somebody should put that on his shirt. I like to bring this from. This is very personal to me.
Mhm.
Very, very personal to me. And I'm going to use my own story to encourage everyone and talk about this today. I was raised by a single mother, but she wasn't a single mother by choice. She became a single mother by circumstance. And I just want to take a little bit of a detour here to talk about something from my own perspective as well. If you're a young guy, or if you're a guy, generally, you know, you were raised in a very women-centered home.
Mhm.
Like, you only grew up with your mom, you never knew your dad. See, bro, if you grew up in that kind of environment, go and look for help. Don't wait till the problems start showing themselves.
I'm telling you.
You will see the problems.
I'm telling you, how I got my first mentor
Yeah.
was there was someone, I did something, I can't remember what I did. And the man shouted at me like, "Hey, can you come and stop that?" And I took it personally like, "Oh God, who are you to shout at me?"
Yeah.
And I bounced out. As in I changed this for the man and walked home. But luckily for me, I prayed. So when I wanted to pray, God just convicted me that guy. Who's talking to you? Nobody.
Preach
I'm
it,
like,
preach it.
nobody can talk to me. And I said, okay, you know what? I'll go back and meet it. So when I meet him, I went to his house. I knocked on the door. I said, "Sir, I'm sorry for the way I reacted to you, but I'm telling you, shout at me."
Guy, do you know
I
how
told him
hard
shout
this
at
thing
me
is?
because at that point in time, nobody could shout at me because we're all moving mad. So I was like, okay, sir, shout at me.
Do you know how hard this thing is? For you to actually understand what your problem is, first of all,
Mhm.
you are self-aware enough to know what your issue is, and then you go and look for help.
For help.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
You humble yourself.
If you
enough
grew
to
up
ask
like,
for
and you
help,
know the
yeah.
funny thing, like, and here's another thing. Shout outs to all the single moms out there, you know, grinding, whether you're a single mom by choice or by circumstance, whatever. But you need to understand something. If you have a boy, a male child, that child needs male guidance. And I need to give massive props to my mom. So she would always tell me and my younger brother, because there's 2 boys, 2 girls, I'm the first, right? She would always tell me and my younger brother, look, I can only raise you up the way a mother can. So that's why I don't even get what all this madness is about when Father's Day rolls around and women be trying to say, I'm a king. Happy Father's Day to me. Like, I get it. It could be cruise or anything. But truthfully, you cannot feel the shoes of a father or a male guide. And my mom will always tell us, go out of your way to try and look for people, good people, solid people who you can learn from. Because there's only so much I can give you. So as I said before, bro, I'm looking at you. Please, if you did not grow up with a father, or you even had a father and sometimes they're silent, because as I said in the last episode, sometimes we're so in our own world and in the way we,
as men, eh?
yes, as men,
Yeah.
that we go to the grave with our counsel, with our wisdom. And sometimes some of our fathers did not share it with us, right?
telling you.
If you're in that situation, bro, you need help. That's why there's like an exclamation mark. Producer, please. There must be an exclamation mark on that guy. Maybe like 5. So you know how serious it is. You really, really need help.
Let me ask this, and I ask because I kind of struggled with recognizing a mentor. Yeah, my dad was there, but I don't think I think growing up, I didn't. It's not like I felt like he was my mentor. I didn't term him mentor.
Mentor. Okay.
Let me ask this: How do you find? First of all, can a guy have several mentors? Like,
Yes.
Do you have mentors for different things? And then how do you find them? How do you find those people?
All right. It's very simple for me. It's just like he said. The ways I've always found mentors is to. Do you remember that day in your office? I came to your office. It was a few months before my wedding. And I came to ask you about some questions relating to, look, you've been down this road before. How were you and your wife able to cooperate to the point where, because bills are killing me, yo. I have so many things to pay for. I need to get a new house. I need to take care of my wife. I need to plan for the future. How did you guys manage this? And if you remember, that day you were probably even doing something, but you stopped and you spoke to me and you gave me like a shit ton of advice that I could take back home and work with. And if you even ask her, my wife will tell you, we'll make reference to different conversations we had where I was like, oh, Ronti actually told me this thing, and I think if we do it like this, it will make sense.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Just be very direct. Know what you're... See, if it's... The reason why we do not know how to directly ask for help is because we do not have an idea of the consequences that come with not asking for help.
I'm telling you. And let me bust your head again.
It's crazy.
The fact is that there are people that are willing to help. The fact is that you, as a mentee, you are helping that person that is your mentor too.
Yeah.
You know that it's not good to close match, close destiny. It also affects the mentor.
Sure.
Sure. Because you can't have knowledge and not spread it. It will choke you. So there are people that are available to mentor. So it's just because in Nigeria, I'm telling you, in Nigeria, everybody's like this already. Like, don't come near me, I'll elbow you. But if someone sees that, okay, this person is asking for genuine help, you see that there are people that are ready to help you. Yeah. Especially, and one thing is that there are so many things you can get help for. For me, generally, I got someone that I could discuss life on general terms with. And in like general terms, like purpose-driven life kind of vibe with that person. There's some people have mentorship for career. I have mentors for different things in life. So you'll be surprised how, and one thing I learned from my mentor is my first mentor, he doesn't choke me with his opinions. So there are people, so like I said, I first went to him. I went to meet him by myself. Yeah. Nobody, you understand? That's part of being a man. Yeah. I said, shout on me. Like, give me your opinion to your best. Yeah. And let me take it and let me know what to do with it. So I think it's something we need to shout for help.
Yeah. I feel like it would be good to hear your guys' views on this. A mentor is, and I like when you said, don't choke me with your opinions. I think a mentor is meant to be able to project and identify your skills, your strengths, and where you can potentially take it to, and then sort of guide you into going into that direction.
It's more of guidance.
He's more of a guide than a prison warden,
than a controller,
than a policeman or a law enforcement officer. Yeah, and mentorship. It's one thing. It was one thing for me to find people because I'm looking for a very good way to make what I'm about to say gel. It's one thing for you to find a mentor.
Yeah.
It's another thing for you to offer up to mentor others. It forces you to grow.
I agree.
It does. It forces you to grow. So I've always, I was 30 last year, right? And I got a lot of messages. Yo, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Third floor.
Yeah. My wife is always saying I'm old. Baby boo, you seen this? I'm not old. You know what I'm saying? So, I got a lot of messages last year, and a few messages stuck out to me. And these were people actually giving me, just thanking me.
People you've mentored.
People who are like, you remember that day when you told me this, when you told me you did not have to. Why did you do it? You want to say something?
Yeah, that brings me to my next point.
Yeah.
So you have to distinguish mentorship from help. You know, generally I say that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to get mentors, but you also need to get help. Sometimes you just need help. It's not
Big
even
facts.
mentorship.
Yeah.
This guy, you sabi.
Yeah.
Let's take it something as simple as David is good with sound.
Mm.
I want to do sound.
Mm.
I need to speak to David. I might not do everything the way David is saying, but I need to listen to David because David,
He can make my journey shorter.
I'm telling you, people pay for these things. People pay for help that will help you skip
Big facts.
unnecessary time.
Big facts. Big
And
facts.
you are running life. Life is one life as a man.
That time issue.
even
man.
that word
That
mentor.
time issue, man.
Because I there's no one I refer to as my mentor, but there are definitely people that fit that mold according to these definitions.
Mhm.
And I think one reason subconsciously, as I'm thinking about it now, was that when I thought of the word mentor, it felt like I had to be accountable to this person in everything. And then my generation, and I think most young Nigerians, we also grew up with some level of trust issues to leadership
Yeah.
based on the leadership we see in the country.
Mm.
Facts. So I always had those kind of issues because if I look up to this man now, tomorrow he will do something that will shake my faith.
Even most of our homes here are run by parents who practice this. Do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly,
type thing.
exactly.
Because most of them, they go against some of the things they tell you to do.
Exactly.
So it's like, how am I going to learn from you?
So
when
it's
you're
from
not
those
even
trust
straight?
issues. It's from those trust issues that now comes in. So I think I need to find a new word to even define to call someone a mentor. But I definitely have people in those spaces that when it comes to this issue,
You can call them for
I'll
help.
call this person. When it comes to this, I'll call this person.
I'm too on that as well. There's no one that I would say this guy is my mentor. Yes, there are people that have helped me in the course of my life, my career, and all that. But there's no one I can sort of point. I've never said this person is my mentor. That word, I can't remember using it. I find myself looking back and who are the people that have helped me? So yes, my dad, fantastic storyteller. I love that. There's so much I learned from my dad. I think one of the biggest things is his relationship with my mom.
Mm.
That I definitely learned that. Without calling him a mentor, if I think back, my relationship with women, and especially women that I love, that in my life, my wife, for example, my dad really helped
Laid
with
the
that.
blueprint for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though they had issues, every relationship will have issues, but I learned that those things once you guys are aligned, you can always surpass any issue.
Because
The
this
other thing
even,
is storytelling.
Mm.
Oh, my fantastic storyteller.
Mm. Your
There are
dad.
all those Tales by Moonlight type of everybody I
my
read.
folks did that stuff
loves to.
Yeah,
my dad
I
too.
learned that from
That's
my dad as
crazy.
well.
my dad too likes
My dad would
Yeah.
listen to our crappy stories. Shout out to my baby sister. She always had one, like every night. Even I cannot do it. Every night she had one particular story about a tiger that has 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears, and that would be the end of her story. Yes. And the guy would just sit down there and listen to her and validate her, like, wow, makes sense.
What's a special tiger?
Yeah.
But tigers are
Same
meant to have
story
2 eyes
every
now.
day. Shout out to you.
Tigers are meant to have 2 eyes. What I was trying to say when Rotti was, it reminded me of something. So a couple weeks ago, when there was a whole tweet, or months ago, there was a whole Twitter scandal about one big Nigerian artist that said something. So it reminded me of the fact that, for instance, this Nigerian artist now, a lot of people look up to him because he's an artist. But then there's something that happens with human beings where if there's someone we admire in one particular thing, we tend to now look at them as they should be perfect in every other thing. These guys should be the ones. So when they now disappoint us, which is what I'm talking about, when they now disappoint us by making some kind of statement, where it comes out that they did something, it affects us deeply.
Let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who Andrew Tate is, right? We all know who Andrew Tate is.
Yeah.
Yeah. People like that, people that have such a very controversial, vibe to them, persona to them, can men get good advice from sources like that? Because here's what you're saying. Is it important, and I'm asking the question to all of us, is it important to learn how to take what is good, what can benefit you, from someone with what they say, and then just leave out the rest. The one that doesn't really concern you, the one that you feel, no, I don't really believe that this is it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So people like, should young men, for example, listen to Andrew Tate?
Nah, I think so. I think, let me tell you one thing Andrew Tate said. He said a lot of things that I agree with. But one thing that is really strong is he said something about strengthening your network. Your net worth is as strong as your network. So 4 of us here, we're friends.
Yeah.
We're guys.
Yeah.
If I'm doing business with the 4 of you, the 3 of you, I would always make sure I pay a premium for your service. Not because you're my friend, I would start down pricing what
you are doing.
In fact, I will pay you more than I will pay other people that I don't know because you're within my network.
Yeah.
You are strong as your network, so you have to strengthen your network. That's something Andrew Tate said that to me just it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Typically, people want to take advantage of their friends.
Yeah.
Because I want to do business. My guy now. Take
you price
take
person down.
25% now. Nah. You pay your guy 150%.
Yeah.
As by taking advice, I think even before you get a mentor, you should know what you want. See, one thing that happens is that what if you go and meet somebody? Because people go to meet people for different reasons. So if you don't know what you want, you're asking for help. You don't know what you want. You don't know the help you're asking for. And the person gives you a plethora of options. You get lost. For example, if you are going to, let's say I want to, let me look for a simple example. I want to set up a podcast and I know someone that has done podcast before. I can tell the person my vision that I'm trying to achieve. So you can tell, so what a mentor will do for me that I understand is that a mentor can paint pictures. A mentor can give you connections. He can paint pictures for you. He can broaden your horizon. I had a challenge one time that when I went to meet this guy, he's not even my first mentor. I went to meet him and I had no idea that he had gone through something like that before. But I just said, I knew that he went through the specific thing I was going through at that time. The same thing. And there's no way you see this guy and you believe that he has gone through that before. So it took some talking to, and I said, okay, so this thing that I'm shouting over is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I went through this same thing. I didn't do exactly what he did. But he's trying to tell me that, guy, this thing, you're not the only one that is facing this P. So know how you do it. Look at the options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All right. Mentors are meant to help you avoid pitfalls because they have gone through it.
Yeah.
They're meant to help you avoid it. I like what you said. I think for a lot of people, maybe you see someone that has money, he has influence, and then you start asking him for sexual advice or something. Because he seems influential and successful doesn't mean he knows everything. I think we should also know that mentors are fallible. They're human.
Yeah.
They're human.
Yeah,
they're not perfect.
In fact, you shouldn't even have someone that is fake as a mentor.
Man,
You have to
Be
be
sure
real
of
with
what is this guy good at? What has he passed? What experience does he have that I want to learn from or borrow from? It's good to just identify that before you approach someone.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to talk about how as men, we have a huge issue with pride and our ego. I just thought about our title for a second, and truly, guys, we really need help, man. The world is crazy. It's harder than it's ever been to make money. It's harder than it's ever been to have a family, a good one at that. We're having so much issues with our women, gender wars, men say one thing, women are like, you too. Women say one thing, men are like, yo. The way God created the relationship field is that we lead. And the way we lead is to lead by example. But how can you lead when you've not been led? Do you understand? This is where that mentorship thing becomes very, very important. Like, I know I have mentees who are doing things at 22 that I could only dream of doing at that time simply because I was in their lives. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Blueprint.
Just to say, do you know how much? Do you know just how much of a long journey can be cut short by just admitting to the fact. Don't be proud. Don't allow your ego take over the situation. Don't be over analytical of it. I've said it, like there's certain situation. If you find yourself in the middle of water, if you're thrown into water and you don't know how to swim, you know the kind of help you need. Do you understand? You know for sure that you're going to be trying to.
Sometimes it's not pride though.
Do you understand?
So
No, me, I'm talking about it from this angle because
From that pride, okay, from that pride,
because I know how hard it can be for men to even look at their lives and be like, and it's a plethora of excuses. My dad was never there. Well, life didn't deal me the nice cards that I wanted, you know, and all of that. And we have a lot of excuses. Guy, it's not easy, Jare. Everybody just there, they hustle. Everybody just there. It's not easy. It's not, bro.
You can
it
sleep on
can
that.
Be easy.
Yeah, you can sleep on that. It's not easy.
Yeah, don't stay there. You need help. If you find yourself in that kind of, if you find yourself in shark infested waters, as far as your development as a man goes, you grew up in a home where, like I said, the man was silent or the man was not even there. Do you understand? And then if you're a single guy and you've come of age and maybe you're really, and see, man, I have to talk about this, yo. Like single moms should stop using their kids as pawns against men. That a relationship didn't work with a man does not make a man a bad father. Do not rob a child of the first mentor that he has in the person of a father. And if peradventure you do not have that, go in search of it, bro. You can make your life easier by doing so. And don't forget, a lot of us eventually want to have kids. It's scary that you would even bring a child into the world when you are that messed up. So at least you need to be on the path of healing to be able to contribute something meaningful to a child's life. I don't think I should flog this issue too much. I think you guys get my drift.
David Kenya has spoken.
You know what I'm saying? Down. We need sound bites, yo.
Or something.
Whoa.
Trumpets.
We need to sample that whoa thing.
I'm telling you.
You were about to say something.
Yeah, I want to say that I remember, again, my dad, fantastic guy, but growing up, he used to say, he used to with pride, talk about how he didn't need to ask for help from anyone. You get, so he said those things were with he said that with pride. I don't need to ask for help. I don't need to try and know anyone. And we sort of imbibed that for a long time. Is until some years back that I had to sort of unlearn that. I wanted to
Self-made.
go through it myself.
Even that word, self-made, what does that really mean?
Do you understand?
I'm a self-made man.
Nobody's self-made,
Nobody's self-made.
What does that
really
mean?
can't achieve
Because
anything.
guys like claiming that I'm a
can't-
self-made
nobody
I'm a
can
self-made
Nah,
man.
that's
We crossed our courses.
What does it mean?
Shout out to Ricky Rose.
Oh,
The truth is, if you want to do big, like really big things, you cannot do it on your own. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just stay small in your own, be king of your own small,
Oh, your small jungle.
small jungle.
The four of us had to come together to make this work.
Facts.
All of this was an idea that was just somewhere inside my head for a long time. But until I shared it with like-minded people, and then it looked like we could do
And there are
it.
people behind the scenes now that you guys can't even see.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
are doing
they are
some
running-
things.
they
You
are
know
running
what I'm saying?
things.
They are doing activities
They are
on
running
this
things.
set. You
You
don't
know,
even see
self-made.
them.
Whoa.
They are
Some people
here.
are afraid to
We
collaborate
are not
because
self-made,
of
though.
self-made.
So people should stop these self-made statements. It's not true. You're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Honestly, man, I don't think we can overflog this issue. It will always boil down to you as a man being self-aware enough to understand what you have and what you do not have.
So first of all, self-awareness.
Yes.
And then you'll be able to ask for help.
Do you understand?
Shouldn't be shy to ask for
Self-awareness.
help.
And you can go ahead and ask for help.
Wise enough to know to ask.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what being a man too is. You're wise enough to know to ask.
Yeah.
You should go ahead because you know what you're asking for. You know the help, the particular help you need.
Man, this is crazy because all of this is just bringing back memories in my own life.
So many
Like
memories.
about how many things could have. I've spoken to you a couple of times, bro, to let you know how, like, okay, so maybe I'll just drop this one and I'll just call it a day.
Drop it like
Alright,
it's
right? So, if you do have your father in your life, if you do have a father, he may be a silent father, probably didn't always do everything right, but go back home to that guy. Maybe he has never hugged you before. Maybe he has never held you before and said, son, I love you. But go back to that guy, hold him
and
hug
say,
him and
Hold
say,
the guy.
I love you.
And
And I need you to not go to the grave with all the experience that you have.
I'm telling you.
Take it from me, yo.
I'm telling you.
If you have a father that is alive, do you understand?
One thing I just really miss that really helped me about my father was that he was vulnerable with me. You understand? Men have egos, generally. So my father was vulnerable with me. He was vulnerable with his mistakes. You could be corrected. That is not Nigerian or even Yoruba to start with. That I could correct my dad. So it's one day I had to come and say, Dad, why is this like this? He said, bro, this, I made mistake here, I made mistake here. It first made me understand that it's okay to make mistakes. And when you make that mistake, move on from it. But he was able to share with me. He was vulnerable with me. He didn't have all the answers. But that helped me to find the answers I needed. And even when I found some answers, I came back to him with the answers. I said, Dad, this is the answer to this thing we're talking about. And he looked at it and I said, wow, this is a good answer. So if you're a father, you need to stand up.
And if you have one,
and if you have one,
good child,
you need to make sure that you solidify that relationship with your father. Forget about any way you feel about him. Give it another 10 years. You will understand things from his perspective. Everybody's my dad was never around. He had to work. We'll talk about this in another episode, but you need to know how hard it is to be a man.
Whoa.
Do you understand? Whoa. It's very, very hard. And sometimes they make mistakes and sometimes they cannot pass on that knowledge like your father did. So it's on you now to learn. Maybe we are exposed. We're living in the Gen Z era where everybody has information. Good. Take this information. Go and meet your daddy. Hold him. Tell him, sir, I know that you've not done everything right, but I need to learn. Even if I don't need to learn from the abundance of your good deeds, I need to learn from your mistakes. So I don't repeat some of the mistakes you made. Man, drops mic.
The mic has dropped.
Drops mic.
Pick it up. It will be picked up in the
BrodaMan
next
Asylum.
episode.
Know what I'm saying? Okay, as usual. Producer will kill me if you do not follow, like, subscribe. Please do. Help us. We need to keep doing this. Help us. Help us, Blue. BrodaMan Asylum BrodaMan underscore Asylum on IG. Help
When we
us.
blow, we can start posing now.
Help us. We don't have pride.
We no pride.
and we are not afraid to ask for help.
We need help.
We need
So
help.
BrodaMan underscore Asylum on IG, the BrodaMan Asylum Podcast on YouTube, and it is BrodaMan, like Niger style, BrodaMan
Underscore Asylum.
Thank you very much.
AS Y
LUM. Don't allow Popsy.
Where this
Easy.
They'll cut it out so it's like I did the shout, bro. ASYLUM. We'll cut out that part. We'll cut it out.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you next episode. Peace out.
Peace.